The Blob, 1985, The Blob. I believe it was called The Blob. Pull this off my shelf. There she is, The Blob. I think she's upside down. Anyway, yep, she's upside down. But I watched this the other day, and believe it or not, I watched this, and it's so crazy how that's. So anyway, that's called The Blob, and I had to pull it off my shelf. But anyway, this is off. This is off my shelf, and I never opened this, and this is a 4K release. This is not the original. The original I like much more. But as you see, I watched this the other day because I've been off work for the holidays. But I watched The Blob, and I really enjoyed it. And I remember not liking it when I first watched it. But I have to admit, on the second watch, but that's due to the fact that you're off because our company shuts down for a vacation for Christmas holiday. Thank God for a whole week. Sometimes it's longer than that. But so I decided to watch it. And I remember back in the day when I got this, I was like, oh, I was going to watch it, and I was so jacked up because it was. You got to understand, I graduated in 1978. So when this came out in 1988, I'm thinking that special effects is going to be like, boom. But I was so in love with that one that came out in 19. Trying to look on here and see what it. Yeah, the audience back in 1950s. So the Blob came out in the 50s, and I wasn't born yet. I was born in 59. So by the time I watched it, I was probably 8 or 9 when I watched the one with Steve McQueen in. But anyway, I decided to watch this. So I took it out. I opened it up. It's a 4K release, and I really enjoyed this. I was surprised. I mean, I ain't gonna sit there and tell you like, "Oh my God, this movie just blows your socks off." No. Do I prefer the first one? Yeah, I like the first one for some reason. It's just I like the first one better. But then when I actually sat down and I took it out and I opened it up, took the cellophane out, popped it in my Xbox Series X, and I sit back because I'm on vacation. I was like, hey, I really like this, man. And the special effects was good for the 80s, but I couldn't imagine them trying to make this now. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think they should make this because everybody probably get mad. One of the best horror films to emerge from the 80s. The Blob is back in horrific tale about a vile, malignant life form that crashes to the earth in a coastal rural American town called Arbobel, Arbobel, called Arbobel. Untroubled by conscience or intellect, the Blob does only one thing, and it does it well. It eats everything and everything that moves, men, women, and children. And tonight it wants to swallow the town of Arboville. The original version of the Blob thrilled, terrified audience back in the 1950s, but the oozing gooey killer is back with a whole new high-tech look. And when I watched this again, I said to myself, Vic, you should have given this a better chance when you was younger watching this, because I was like, I don't like this, man. This is not the same as. I don't. Yeah, back then I loved that 50 ones, but the special effects for this was a lot better than the one in the 50s. But the one in the 50s was it's the way they shot it. They didn't have the technology they have today. So when they made something, they put more effort into it. It seemed like, But anyway, this is back in 1988 technology, So, of course, the Blob did look better than the 1950s one that I watched, but I love that 1950 one for some reason. So the whole new high tech look, what was what was once suggested now comes to life with state of the art special effects. You talking about back in 1988? I couldn't imagine what they do if they make this movie now. Tradition of such thrilling remakes as The Thing and The Fly. I did like the new Fly compared to the old Fly, but I did like the old Fly because it was old. And I like the original Thing. A lot of people don't remember the original Thing. The original Thing was an old black and white. And then the one that put him on the map was the one that was the 1980 The Thing. And that's the one I watched and I fell in love with too, which made me go back to the black and white. Now, a lot of people wouldn't like that black and white thing because the title of the thing is called The Thing from Another World, where John Carpenter's thing was just called The Thing, and that thing was just creepy. But you got a 4K remaster, and then you got 2 disc Blu-ray, 4K remastered by the film Sony Pictures. But yeah, but so I sat back, man, and I put it in my PlayStation. I put it in my Xbox Series X, and you know, it was. I liked it. I did. I liked it. I thought it was. I thought it was okay. Did it blow my socks off? No, but it just give me the warm fuzzies, man. Because this is back when I was young, and this is back when I had my apartment, and I just, I got out of high school. I graduated in 1978, and all this stuff was happening in the 80s and stuff. And you had all the Friday the 13th that was coming out, Freddy Krueger and all that stuff. I don't know. I think those came out in the late 80s, early 90s. But just, God, things was just, but everybody always have a special, time and thing in their life. So anyway, I'll open up the box and we'll go from there and we'll show you what's inside. But yeah, I enjoyed this, man. And I just thought I'd give you a quick, give you my thoughts after watching it. And my thought is I enjoyed it. Do I like it? Do I like it more than the 1951? No, but I did like it after watching it. I sit back on my couch, man. I had my surround sound on. I was like, wow, man, this is a pretty good movie. I was surprised. I was like, dang, I actually like this movie. So here it is out of the box. I got this sitting here, and I'm gonna show you guys the inside of it. But you know me, I love my little collection. And then as you look down, that there it is right there. And I was gonna bring out my old one. I don't want to do that. I'm hoping that eventually they will make a 4K of Steve McQueen's Blob. I hope that Kino Lorber or somebody like that will make it. But anyway, there's the this one here is the Blu-ray of the Blob. And then if you look over here, this is the 4K of the Blob. That's one thing I do like about collecting, man. Is that when I open this up, man, it's just something about opening stuff up, man, and you'd be like, man, I got a Blu-ray. And hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna watch that Blu-ray just to see what the difference is, you know what I mean? So I just want to see how big a difference it was. But I think what I did like about this movie was this was back in my time, so I remember how America was back then. And it was just, it was just different. It's different than it is today. And it just brought me back how the town was and how the people was and how the style was and how everything, how it just the way they shot. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm saying. And that was back when I was, 88, I was probably 1988, 78, 1988, I might have been maybe 20, see, 1988, which 1978, 19, and 1988. That would have put me around probably 29 or 28. But when I looked at that, I said, man, I can relate because I was just looking around and I was like, oh, God, I remember so much of that, man. Neighborhoods used to look like that. People act like that and stuff. And, it's just, God brings back memories. Now it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to the world. It's all messed up. There's still some good stuff out here, but America needs to get back to their traditional ways. But I mean, we've advanced for good causes and stuff, but man, I just look back, just old America was just, but we've made, now anyway, when I watched this, I think I said, now I know why I like this and everything. And yeah, like I said, you guys, I'm off work for a whole week because our plant shuts down, and I had a chance I never opened this up. I had to actually open this up. I said, you know what, I'm gonna watch this because I love the old one. I wasn't around when the old one was made. I was like 8 or 9 when I first watched this, and it was made back in the early 50s. So by the time I watched it, it was like probably 1969 or 70 when I watched the first Blob. And I really loved it. And then when I graduated and I seen they had a new Blob come out, when I watched it, I was like, man, I don't really like this that much. But then I bought it anyway because they had a 4K release of it. And then, like I said, just a couple days ago, I just broke the seal and I opened it up. But yeah, there you go. You got the Blob Blu-ray and you got the Blob 4K. That's one thing I do like about uh, this is uh, this is by Shout Factory. Yep, Shout Factory. Uh, so Shout Factory is the one behind this. So the reason why I want to share all that with you guys because Shout Factory is another studio, Shout Studios. So Shout Studios is the name, and they're the ones that has they have a lot to do with redoing and restoring, like Kino Lober, and then you have the Criterion Collection. They do a good job and stuff like that. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys my take on the Blob. I'm off work for a while, and I wanted to actually show y'all that I actually, just give y'all a quick unboxing. I broke the seal and I actually watched it, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Second time around, I enjoyed it. All right. God bless. Take care. Catch you next video.